Well, there's a lot of things obviously that are different in that car compared to last year. A lot of new bits, but mainly the whole architecture and the whole look of the car, I think, is just cooler, slimmer, tidier, and I cannot wait to drive it.
Last season I had a cool design, but I don't know, this one looks more as a race car, and I think I just hope it's just good on track. No matter how, if the car looks great or terrible, the real thing is how it does on track.
So it's pretty much a wrap here on the day. The car is still behind us. I'm going to try not to grab it and drive it home. Nate Saunders still here with me. Nate, so just overall, what did you think of the launch? What did you think of the car and everything now that you've finally gotten a chance as well to speak to the drivers?
Well, it's a great launch. It was actually nice to see a team putting a big event on. We saw Ferrari do the same thing. It's really interesting on the front wing that says a better tomorrow on there, and that really was the theme of everything we spoke about with Zach Brown, with Lando Norris, with Carlos Sainz. There's a real feeling that this team, they know they're not going to win championships this year, given how F1 is, but it's all about looking to that next step. And you get this feeling there's this real optimism. You know, it's almost like people don't want to say it too much because obviously this team has promised a lot before and has fallen short of expectations. But you can see it's in every year I've come here, it's been in a better position, just ever so slightly. And with such a big rule change coming next year, that's a really good thing for them. The car looks great as well, and I think it's going to be a good season. I can't see them not finishing best of the rest like they did last year, but we'll see. I mean, until we see it tested, we don't know how good it's going to be. So, I mean, what did you spoke to them as well? What did you make of?
Yeah, I got to speak to them as well, and I know that they're definitely excited. One of the fun things that Carlos Sainz told me is that he went as far as to say that he thinks this might be the best car that McLaren's had. I know there's still some testing to be done before we can even say that, but you know, what are you hoping this car delivers to them that do you think they need to catch in on those big three?
Well, I think that catching the top three is going to be difficult this year anyway, even if they just produce the best car they've ever produced, given the way F1 has been recently. So I think that for the confidence of the team, finishing a clear fourth and beating Renault, who supplied them the engines last year, that was a big step, and doing it again this year would be a massive step. And if they did that, going into next year, it's complete clean slate really. So you'd really back McLaren to get that right. And I think in this driver pair, we don't know who they'll have here next year. There's a few other options they might look to, but I think everything's here they need. So I think it's just if they're going to have a good year, tick that off. The future's bright, so yeah.
Fourth again, do you think? Because I was speaking, of course, to Zach and Andreas, and they said, you know what, that might just be the goal again this year, and that's not a bad goal to go after.
Yeah, it was interesting because Carlos Sainz was talking about, you know, last year he finished best of the rest, as we like to say, and realistically, that's his best goal for this year as well. And in most sports, when you have your breakout career best season, the next year you want to, you know, improve on that. But the way F1 is, you can't really do that at the moment. You know, he might be able to do that in 2021. So I think that that's what they've got to do. They've just got to. They've almost set the bar for themselves at a quite dangerous level because they've got to finish there again. So we'll see how that works. But I think that this team now has gone through the hardships, gone through the hard times, and kind of knows the way to, you know, to improve in the future. And it knows where it's going and it knows where it wants to go. And I think now, crucially, it knows how it's going to get there.
All right, well, exciting day, exciting times. Definitely for McLaren. We'll definitely be talking a lot more about the launch and the car when we go into our podcast tomorrow. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.